Mark Zuckerberg has agreed to fight Elon Musk in a cage. Hi, I'm Dr. Peacock. I'm an adult psychiatrist. But interesting about this fight is the tension. People think of Elon Musk as probably more conservative. He doesn't identify as a conservative. He identifies as a libertarian, socially leaning, maybe more social, but also probably fiscally a little more conservative. Zuckerberg, you can't find any information about how he leans politically. I think most people would probably say left-leaning, but there's no clear evidence online from what I could see. Where did that tension come from, this right-leaning? Where does that come from? Why does that political expression come from as a part of our evolutionary history? Early tribes, when they would encounter other tribes, they had options of joining, interacting, or avoiding. That sense of wanting to avoid was wired into us because if we encountered another tribe, we could die. They could kill us. And also germs. So there's a high germ response, high threat that's oftentimes met within that kind of political spectrum. So the idea of build a wall resonates with that early tribal evolutionary history. But the idea of expansion, allowing people to come in, was always met with a potential resource. So there's a balance between threat and resources. So resources for mating potential, learning potential. So resources were there. And that was needed in the tribe. It was needed. So when people think I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm liberal, I'm conservative, it's actually been wired into us. You're not born with a blank slate. It's not 100%. It's not completely deterministic, but it is wired into us. And that's really fascinating. And we know that from identical twin studies. So when fraternal twins and identical twins were separated at birth, what they found was the identical twins had greater agreement along political ideology, which is really interesting. So that supports the idea that there's a strong genetic component towards our political affiliation and tribal affiliations. Also, the brain, the human brain, has an area of the brain that is actually dedicated towards facial recognition. So knowing your tribe. In fact, there's a racial bias around that as well. So the ability to be able to know your tribe is influenced by things like ethnicity and race, which is really interesting. So early tribal stuff again. So why would this fight be interesting at all to us? Well, because again, tribal affiliation. What we found was in toddlers and infants, even at that young age, they can identify their tribe. So when they put on like a green shirt for one group and orange shirt for the other ones, even the infants and toddlers, if you took like a cookie or a biscuit away from an adult and that was wearing your colored shirt, it would create distress and threat because protection of resources is very much wired into that early tribal experience. So why is there voyeurism? Why is there interest in watching people fight? It's because it's representation of us, our tribe fighting another tribe. And so that's a really curious phenomenon. Even the encircling, right? When fights break out on the street, like a cage, the encircling, it's a natural phenomenon to wall off that fight, contain that fight as we watch. And you'll see that on a street fight. People will gather around in a circle. So here we go. We have two different, potentially, I'm making a leap here, but, I think there's going to be some political divide here between Zuckerberg and Musk and people thinking which tribe they're going to root for. So who do I think is going to win? So I think we have two novices, unskilled fighters at best. I think it'd be hard for most of us to know that we got our ass kicked by Elon Musk or by Zuckerberg. That's a hard day. A lot of us have hard days, but you have to walk home at the end of the day. I don't know why you're walking home. Okay, drive home. But you're coming into your house and you're like, Mark Zuckerberg kicked my ass, and then Elon Musk got me in and, triangle or something. Oh, I don't want that happening to me. So who wins? I don't know what their size is. I don't know who's bigger. Just looking, Elon Musk looks kind of heavy. So usually a good big man beats a small good man. I think we have two crappy fighters fighting each other with no skill set. People say, oh, wait a minute. They both have done some BJJ. Looks like Zuckerberg has done some training videos, but those training videos look completely staged to me. I saw him passing somebody's guard. He got to side control. He got neon belly. It was the easiest roll I've ever seen. It looked choreographed. And I think a few people out there would be like, no, he can fight. I'm like, maybe. Shoot, I could take both of them, I think. I hope. Maybe. Maybe not. That's sad.